A New York Times columnist is making waves for blasting the so-called elite class, accusing them of using self-serving tactics to maintain a sense of moral superiority. The article, which is pretty lucid, is titled, "What If We're the Bad Guys Here?" The writer, David Brooks, who often writes far-left pieces, I would argue, includes himself as a member of this liberal elite class. Brooks claims they've worked to take over professions like the media, you think, and lock out others. He also argues that the left has rewritten language standards to alienate and exclude, quote, "Like all elites, we use language and mores as tools to recognize one another and exclude others. Using words like problematic, cisgender, Latinx, and intersectional is a sure sign that you've got cultural capital coming out of your ears." Meanwhile, members of the less educated classes have to walk on eggshells because they never know when we've changed the usage rules so that something that was sayable 5 years ago now gets you fired. He has a point on this piece, Rachel. I encourage people to read it because it actually is pretty eye-opening and clear-eyed for a liberal journalist. But this reeks to me or says to me the forgotten man and woman. We heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
I met a lot of these forgotten men and women, went to countless rallies, shook their hands, interviewed them, some of the best people, salt of the earth. They are wonderful, but often overlooked by people like the New York Times.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. As I read it, I kept thinking, how will this be interpreted by the fellow liberal readers of the New York Times? Will they see what David Brooks is finally trying to see? And I think what's brought them this moment is they thought that they could, through Donald Trump, vilify, as you said, this working class, the forgotten people, and he keeps getting more and more popular as they pile on more and more on him. And I think that he's sort of a substitute in some ways for them. And at the fact that this group of people, the deplorables as they call them, have put so much hope in him as this is the only thing we have left to fight against these elite rules. You said they locked out, you know, conservatives or even fair-minded people out of the media, but it's not just the media, academia, Hollywood, all levers of power and cultural power. Conservatives have no role, have no part in. We have what? Fox News, that's it, and a few podcasts. So, I mean, this is a serious point, and I think that this is in the New York Times is saying something. It's really fascinating to see where this might go.
It is, and it's no secret that, you know, this David Brooks piece is a one-off. This is what the media, the liberal media, actually thinks of Trump voters and Republicans. Watch.
The last thing we need is Neanderthal thinking.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
The credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's a smart one, and y'all elitists are dumb.
you elitists with your geography and your maps and your spelling, even though
your math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading, you know.
Bye-bye, Don Lemon.
I wonder if Don Lemon's laughing hard on the unemployment line. I don't think he's laughing anymore. And there's nothing to laugh about this. Just like we're not laughing about Bidenomics and all the BS that's coming out of this White House. It's not funny. And they're laughing because they had nothing else to laugh at because, quite frankly, they are not covering the news. The bad guys here are the mainstream media, and that's the bottom line. And there is a perfect example as to why. Because all they have talked about is this January 6th indictment. They are not talking about anything else. They're not talking about Biden. They're going to swipe everything under the rug, when at the bottom line is that, you know, Biden, I mean, he is making mistakes left and right. He's the White House president, right? He is the president in office, not Trump. That's where the focus should be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, Emily, and one thing that stood out to me in his piece, he talks about journalism and the elites taking over a profession, journalism being a case in point. And he said a 2018 study found there more than 50% of the staff writers at the beloved New York Times and Wall Street Journal attended one of the 29 most elite universities in the nation. Nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong is when you don't ever leave the confines of Manhattan or the swamp and go meet real American people and hear their concerns.
That's right. So over half of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and those that are churning out what is amplified then around the world came from the same 29 institutions. It just goes to how insular that community is, that profession is. And in that insularity, there is a disdain that they hold for the rest of us who dared to go to public schools or trade schools or have trade skills or fly the American flag. Remember that we, meaning the Americans that stand for the anthem and fly the American flag and say thank you to police officers that we will always be less than. We will always be the enemy, and that will always be perpetuated in that elite industry that is magnified in mainstream media, on air and off, and certainly by this administration that has done everything it could to only tout the benefits of secondary and further education rather than lifting up, embracing and expressing gratitude for everyone with skilled and unskilled labor upon which the entire economy rests.
And while the left is tying themselves up in knots to understand why Trump is becoming more popular with these indictments, Paul, David Brooks seems to get it. He says people see Donald Trump as fighting for them against institutions that have persecuted them and their neighbors. I'm paraphrasing him.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, give him credit, but I would also say this, give him a job, because he's not going to last at the current iteration of the New York Times speaking like this, all right?
Yeah.
This is not the New York Times that we even all grew up on, right? This is a very different place than the average age is younger. They're hyper woke. And I don't think he's getting too much love at the water cooler here. And this is why the Republican Party now has become, realistically, the party of the blue-collar worker, right? Because it's much more the common people. And you know a real tell, and we've already had it a couple of times on the show, they love to control the narrative in terms of the language, right? They're very aware of the power of the nomenclature, to use your word, right? And so we have the mayor of Chicago talking about little Al Capones. And same thing here. If you're a hardworking blue-collar person trying to raise your family, trying to stay above ground, hoping your kid doesn't get involved in fentanyl, you don't have the time to come up with Latinx. I still don't know what intersectional means. I mean, it's the kind of nonsense you only come up with in the faculty lounge when you work an hour a day. And that's really the truth of it.
Yeah, faculty lounge language. All right, more Outnumbered, just a moment.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.